Good morning everyone and welcome back to another video, a live match preview here today of Manchester City's game in the Carabao Cup tonight against West Ham as we look for 5 consecutive victories in this wonderful, delightful trophy. I hope you're all doing well today. Good morning as well to everyone joining in the stream. It's good to see so many people here already. I don't know why the thumbnail is showing the wrong thing, by the way. I've changed it a billion times. It must be a cache thing. I have no idea what it is because it's definitely not a me thing. Trust me about that. I did it last night. It's just YouTube messing with me. What can I say? One thing that doesn't mess with me though, and that is how you do a segue, is the wonderful people over at OneFootball. Go and download OneFootball right now. Please do me a massive favour and hit that download button over in the link in the description. Or this thing right next to me on my head here, I've got a QR code. So if you're on your desktop right now, get your phone out, double click your camera, get it out, and scan that QR code so you can download OneFootball on your phone. It's dead easy to do, and actually, it's a fantastic app. You get all your Manchester City news, all your transfer information, and all that kind of stuff. If you download it, let me know live in the comments right now if you downloaded OneFootball. Please do. Download OneFootball right now. It's absolutely awesome. I promise you. It's really good. Let me just slide this QR code out of the way. See you later, QR code. Boom. It's gone. See that? See that? Gone. Actually, I'll bring it back, and I need it for next time. Just going to put it over there. Anyway, the thumbnail is fixed, apparently. I've not changed it, so there we go. Download OneFootball anyway. Yeah, but this game's going to be really interesting. We've already got an early super chat. Let me find a super chat. Who's it from? You're a legend, Christian. Absolute legend, mate. He says, hi, Stephen. Massive fan of the channel. Keep up the amazing content. You're a legend. My prediction for the game, City 2-1 win over West Ham. Back at you, man, Christian. Thank you. Honestly, I couldn't do it without your support. Honestly, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Nicola Latesh, she's in the comments. I spend every day thinking about how lucky I am to be able to do this. So thank you very much, Christian. 2-1's a good prediction, mate. I'll get to mine in a bit. I don't know what I've decided yet, but we will discuss that very shortly. Thank you so much to Christian and, of course, all you guys for joining in. Absolute heroes. And Nicola is already Nicola's the wife's in the chat as well. Everyone say hello to the wife. She's there dishing out the bananas in the chat, which I'll pull onto screen in a second when the comments catch up. That's the wife for you. Always being an absolute legend. Who's here? Who have we got? We've got Christian, we've got Moody, we've got Carl, Saroj, Awais, Legand. Good morning, Legand. Swalsey, Robbie, Sean, Offball, Colt, the wife there as well, of course. Matthew, Naz, AN, and so many more people. I'll just leave the banana on screen. That's classic Nicola. I love it to bits. But yeah, this is going to be a really interesting game. It's going to be a really interesting game, mainly because it's an important game. And what I mean by that is it's the Carabao Cup, man. It's everything. It's absolutely everything. I mean, it isn't, but it is to me. You find your own little narratives in football, and that's why I love football. But something that means absolutely zero to someone else can mean the world to someone else, and I like that personally. And right now, the Carabao Cup, it means I always pronounce it incorrectly, don't I? I don't really care, but I know I always do. Is it Carabao? I don't know. But either way, it means the world to me because we've won it so many times, and because I've watched City win it at Wembley with, be it the wife or my dad. It's been a pleasure, like watching Carabao. Is it Bow or Bow? Carabao. I don't know, Carabao Cup. But watching him win, City pick up trophies at Wembley will never get tiring. I've been there with Nicola before. I've been there with my dad, and it's just great fun. It's great fun seeing City fans celebrate it mid-season. It's really good. And of course, yesterday marked the day, 5 years exactly since Manchester City last lost a Carabao Cup tie, which is crazy. Yesterday was 5 years to the day. I don't mean game, I mean tie, because I know we obviously lost in a two-legged affair against Man United once. But in terms of an actual tie, an overall tie, 5 years it's been. 5 years, which is just... It's it's beyond crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely beyond crazy. It's an awful long time, which is just bizarre. It's just bizarre. And this is why it also means something to me as well. Guardiola said on the Carabao, he said, it's good. It's a good tournament and we've done quite well. We won it for the 4th time in a row and we're there. West Ham away is not easy. At the same time, we're going to prepare to try and win like we do in any game, in any competition. And Gundogan as well was talking a little about the competition. He said, it's a tough game, an away game, but I'm sure we will be ready. We will try our best to win that game and proceed as far as possible again in that competition. Sounds like they are, which is interesting. interesting, and I'm sure they will as well. Big love to the super chat from Vizzy, legend. Thank you so much, Vizzy. Good morning, Stephen. Always been a fan of these streams. Do you think Zinny, Ake, Stones will start, and how many you players will get minutes? Well, I've not got to that bit of the team news yet, Vizzy, but I do think we'll see possibly all those three start. Maybe all three. Maybe two. I reckon 2 out of those 3 will start. I'm not sure yet, but I will get to the lineup. And I think in terms of you players, we'll get to the lineup in a bit, but expect no one other than Palmer and Edozie. That's what I would say. That's a plot spoiler for you there. It'll be Palmer and Edozie at most, simply because they played last night, the EDS, and so many that could have been involved were involved last night. So we're not going to see Wilson Esbrand. We're not going to see Mbete. We're not going to see McAtee or Delap because they were all played last night. So or Keiki as well. He played last night for the EDS, and it was a bad performance, unfortunately. They lost 5-0 against Rotherham in the Papa John's Trophy. So we won't be seeing any of those you players, but no Palmer and Edozie suggests to me that they probably will be involved tonight anyway. But big love to Vizzy, you absolute legend, mate. I really, really appreciate it. Is it the third kit tonight? I reckon it's going to be the white kit. I think that's not enough of a clash, I reckon. They'll go for the white away kit. It hasn't grown on me yet, Carl, unfortunately, I'll be honest, mate. I can't see past the big Man City tax. City are selling it for really cheap already, which is a bad sign in terms of sales. But it means you can get it for cheap if you want it. I probably would get it as a knockoff personally, but you know, I didn't say that. I did say it, but I didn't say it. But either way, it's going to be really interesting. In terms of the actual team news, I mean, I think it's still as it is. It's Ferran Torres still out, of course. As I mentioned, we'll see. Our third kit was posted on Twitter, was it? I hope. The only thing is I don't like dark kits against dark kits because I'm slightly colourblind. I know the colours are totally different, but dark on dark is not how I like it personally. I always struggle with kits when they're just 2 shades of darkness. So but maybe it doesn't look too bad together on the kit. And I know they've got white on their sleeves, haven't they? West Ham, I think, or something. So we'll see. Oh yeah, if the kit had the badge, by the way, instead of the text that says Man City there, I don't even like the font. That's what bugs me personally. If it just had the actual badge, I would love it. It'd be a nice kit. But you know, it isn't what it is. If something was different, it'd be different. But either way, it's going to be really, really interesting to see who plays tonight. I mean, Ferran Torres is, of course, out. There's some suggestions that Raheem Sterling at the moment has got a tiny bit of a back injury. I've read that on a couple of previews. I don't know if he's going to be all right tonight, but I would guess the fact that Edozie's involved tonight with the first team, and he is because he wasn't playing in the EDS last night, unless it's injuries, which I don't think it is. I would suggest Edozie's been brought along for the same reason that he was at the weekend as well against Brighton, so he'll be on the bench is what I would guess there. But other than that, it's kind of just that, really. There's been no real injuries. Let's try and build this lineup together. Let me get over to change on here so I can actually get the live comments up as I edit it on here at the same time. But let's build this team and try and guess what it's going to be. I think it sort of picks itself in many ways, but at the same time it doesn't, because you never know how strong Guardiola is going to go in these things. I'm basing it on the fact that I think West Ham will make a few changes, but also be relatively strong. So let me go to another scene over here on OBS, and here we go. So it's going to be Stefan in goal. That much is a given. Zach Stefan is our keeper for this competition. Do we think we'll see Zinchenko? Give me a yes or a no. Someone just said, admit it, you don't like Mahrez. No. Literally got nothing against Mahrez. Why would people ask me that? Like Mahrez is a quality footballer. Where does it come from? I don't dislike any Manchester City players because I'm a 36-year-old male and not a childish little moron. But I think most people reckon Zinchenko's going to play there. So and I don't dislike any Man City players. I literally don't. Right, Zinchenko is going into the teams. I think he'll start. I actually agree he'll start. Which means, by the way, we've got to play someone at right back. I think it's going to be Walker at right back. Oh, Cancelo. Who's played the most games recently out of Walker and Cancelo? Really interesting to see. I reckon I'm going to guess Cancelo is my guess. No, I'm going to go for Walker. Walker at right back, I reckon. I think it will be Ake and Stones. I think they've got to play, really. I think they have to. I'm going to say Ake and Stones. That's what I reckon it'll be there. So you've got that as a back four. It kind of picks itself, really, doesn't it? Can anyone really see past Fernandinho playing? I mean, surely he's going to start, isn't he? Fernandinho will start, I reckon. Then I can see Gundogan playing as well. I'm hoping Bernardo plays as well, but I'm not sure he will. It could be that actually Cole Palmer plays in midfield like that. It might be that. It also could be De Bruyne. Goal Palmer. It could be De Bruyne. It could be Bernardo. Let's try and build the team how we think it's going to be. So, in terms of the backup play, well, Mahrez didn't play the other day, so Mahrez is definitely starting on the right, in my opinion. Adozie could start on the left. Who plays through the middle? That's the only thing, really. Yeah, I mean, Ferner is definitely the backup. Who said that? Hatchie. But of course, obviously, it's going to be rotation, isn't it? Sterling, I don't think is going to be available. Is he fit? TJ, is he? Are you sure? I've read conflicting reports on that. I think my instinct is Jesus will play as a striker for this. Are we all definitely sure Raheem's fit? Like, what's the source on that, by the way? We do have a youth defensive midfielder, but Lavia played last night, so he played for the EDS. Okay, well, let's see. Well, let's put Sterling there, presuming he's fit. I'm going to trust all you guys there. It's going to be... He was in training. All right, well, if Sterling's training, then he's going to be all right. And shall I go big and say Adozie on the left? No, I think it'll be... on the left, probably going to be Foden, I reckon. Or Grealish. It's really hard to say. I mean, you don't know how many changes they're going to make, I reckon. I think Grealish. I mean, if KDB plays, that means no Cole Palmer. I think Cole Palmer's going to start. I don't think Palmer and Adozie will start. I think one of the two will start. It could be that Adozie starts, and it could be we see this. Like, Adozie actually gets to start here. And we see De Bruyne and not Palmer. It could be De Bruyne here. I think De Bruyne might play. You might be right with that. I'm reading all your comments here. KDB will play as a 9, says Cyan. I don't think you will do, but you could be right, mate. Kevin, because he didn't play at the weekend. Yeah, I think De Bruyne is going to play, actually. KDB false 9, a lot of people are saying. Well, it could be that, couldn't it? It could be this. It could be this. It could be Sterling on the left. KDB as like a sort of false 9, dropping him a little bit deeper there, and then you could have Palmer in midfield as well if you wanted to give him some game time. It could be something like that, maybe. I reckon something like that could do, because you're right, because KDB didn't play the other day, so I think he is going to play in this game. I reckon maybe that. It could be Gundogan as the false 9 as well. Obviously, they could all move around. You know what I mean? They could all do that or whatever. But it's going to be... It might be... I reckon this collection of players... I mean, in terms of the actual position on the pitch, I mean, you know, Palmer could be there. He could be there, whatever. I mean, you could move things around, of course. But in terms of the actual collection of players, something like this, maybe. It's really, really hard to say. Matthew reckons Diaz starts ahead of Ake. I think we'll give every opportunity to Diaz over the rest. Look, this is a good way of looking at it. Let's look what we played in the previous round. I'm gonna look at West Ham's results here. Let's go over to West Ham's results and see how they played in the previous round. West Ham in the previous round. Let's see what kind of team they played. They played a relatively strong team against United, I think, from what I can remember. Against United. In the third round, this is how West Ham played. Let me bring it on screen. They played that. So they played Fredericks. So they played a couple of players there, actually, like Lanzini, Yarmolenko, Noble, Fredericks. I remember watching that game, actually. They played a few players that are slightly backups, if that makes sense. So Jared Bowen as well played as a striker. So I presume they might do the same again. Antonio was obviously on the bench for that game. They did rotate a little bit, which is kind of reassuring. When you contrast that now, so remember that team with Johnson, Diop, Dawson, Fredericks, Kral, Noble, Lanzini, Yarmolenko, Masuaka, and Bowen. If you go to the latest game at the weekend, which was of course beating Spurs. It's a very, 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 very different team. Of course, Johnson played as well. Fabianski, Zuma, Agbona, Cresswell, Declan Rice, Souček, Ben Rama, Fornals, and Mikel Antonio. It's a massively, massively different team, which is kind of reassuring. So let me just kind of get the City results. So let's see how City played last time in the Carabao Cup. Let me bring that up now on screen. Whereas the game, obviously it was Wickham and it was 6-1. We played obviously a really strange team there. It was a lot of academy players. I can't see this. Well, I know for a fact Riley, Burns, and Bette, Wilson, Esbrand, and so on, and Lavia aren't going to be involved. We played Ferran. Ferran would have been Ferran missing is the one that really messes up this lineup, isn't it? Because Ferran 100% would have started with this. That's where it gets confusing. Like no Ferran makes it really, really confusing, unfortunately. Because you got that striker problem, especially with the lap only just playing last night as well. But it is what it is there. I do think we'll see something like that. We're not really sure how it's going to go in terms of the actual lineup. It's very much hard to say. By the way, please do download OneFootball to everyone who's joining in right now. Link in the description. Or you could use, of course, the QR code next to my head here. Where you get your phone out and leave it on screen. I'm gonna guess what we'll say. We'll see is, I'll bring the team back over it again to go to that tab. But it will be something like this, I reckon. It'll be this kind of combination of players, something like that. It may be Diaz who'll be in defence. Maybe it'll be, maybe Cancelo will start at left back instead of Zinchenko, but I can't see him playing. I reckon Palmer will start in some position. I do think Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan are going to play as well. Mahrez, Sterling, if he's fit, will play as well. Fernandinho will definitely play because of Rodri. He's played a lot of games recently. So it's going to be something like that, man. It's going to be something like that. Did someone ask me, did Delap play well last night? He didn't, unfortunately. He was a bit rusty, unfortunately, but it's fine. First game back and all that kind of stuff after injury, so we'll have to see. But it's going to be a really interesting game. I mean, in terms of West Ham's form is good, so I am a little bit nervous about it. West Ham, of course, they're a good side these days. They've had some good results recently. They let me get their scores up. They obviously beat Spurs 1-0, which is a big result for them at home. They beat Genk 3-0 in the Europa League. West Ham away 1-0. Though they did lose to Brentford a couple of weeks back. Beat Leeds United 2-1. They beat United, of course, in the third round, but obviously lost to United 2-1 at home. And they're doing quite well in the Premier League at the moment. The fourth, having won 5 games out of the 9 currently. So they're one of the better teams in the league right now. So I reckon they're going to be really up for this, but there will be changes. And when you make changes and you bring in the backup players, it does mess up with the momentum a little bit. So hopefully we'll see the same. Of course, being away at the Olympic Stadium means it'll be a little bit of a tricky game. In terms of what I'm expecting to see, I'm expecting it to be relatively scatty as a game. It'll be difficult, but presuming they're going to make as many changes as I think they are. I think they'll be fine. Someone asked, is it me or is the quality of the video trash? It's you, mate, because I've got an excellent connection and I've got the video playing back to me in 1080p alongside me right now as I'm streaming, so it's definitely you, pal. So I think maybe you need to change the settings. It'll be your internet, Liam. But I think it's going to be a difficult game, personally. I agree with Christian. I do think it'll be a difficult game, mainly because we've got to play, some players out of position. We've got to rotate certain people and all that kind of stuff. It will be interesting. It'll be interesting. I'm going to go in terms of a prediction. I'm actually going to go with what Christian said at the start of the video, 2-1 as well. I think the 2-1 seems a relatively realistic score. I think we'll win. But this could be the day, by the way. This could be the day when it ends, It could be. But I'm hoping this trophy means so much that even if you go a goal behind, they will really, really rally and they'll go for it. And Matthew's gone for 2-1 in the chat. Matthew said Sterling and KDB were Bowen for them. I'd really love to see Sterling score tonight, by the way. I would absolutely love Sterling to score if he does play. I want Cole Palmer and Sterling to score. That's all I want tonight. Those two to score. Yeah, why not that? Robbie reckons it's going to go to pens. That's not even a bad bet either. Pens is a very realistic outcome, unfortunately. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But it is what it is. Someone's saying, you don't start Sterling if you want to win a game. Well, you got to play these players. You can't just abandon them and never get them involved, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's how it is. You can't just abandon players. You have to find them a chance to get back into form. Rilwell reckons 3-0 domination despite West Ham's good form. I like that, mate. Hopefully you're right. Sean saying 2-1 City. Away saying 3-1 City, De Bruyne, Palmer, Mahrez, and then Antonio for them. This has got Mahrez goal written over actually, hasn't it? It's the kind of game he scores in Mahrez. Oh, that'd be nice, Robbie. Palmer scoring a penalty. You'd score it as well, by the way. It'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. Guys, I'm going to leave it here because I'll be doing loads of streaming tonight. If you want to see the watch-along, of course, come and join me for a nice, chill watch-along. I will be live at around 7:15, 7 o'clock, something like that, ahead of the game. And, of course, the Fan View Live will be back tonight as well. We'll be chatting about the game with you guys, if you're members and patrons and so on afterwards. For now, though, thank you for watching this. Please do download OneFootball. I cannot ask that enough. It'd be really, really appreciated. You can scan the QR code next to me, of course, or you can obviously click the link in the description below. It's a fantastic app. And thank you to everyone who's joined in. You're all wonderful. I'm going to get some breakfast. I'm starving. I go for a morning walk as well, actually. You're all wonderful and awesome. Catch you all in a bit. And I'll see you later. See you tonight for the game. Looking forward to it. Thank you for watching. Come on, City. Come on, City. I'll see you all in a bit, you beautiful, wonderful people. Bye-bye. And catch you tonight.